Yes, this is ancient India. We will, today in our session, we have planned to cover the entire portion like ancient, medieval, modern, and culture part through PYQs. So when we go for, like a covering or a marathon revision of history through PYQs, you will stick on to the demand of history in the prelims paper. Okay. So starting with the 2024, have a look into this. There is a question. The question is like this. The question is like this: which of the following is a work attributed to playwright Basha? Then there is another question. Sangabodhi, an Indian Buddhist monk, traveled to China at the end of 4th century AD, was the author of commentary on. So here you please take care. What I would say is that yes, this literature part is very much important for UPSC. That means I would say almost in every year they used to ask questions from this literature part. So all the students, freshers or the veteran aspirants, please take care. This literature part is very much important for UPSC. You can see every year, if you check last 15 years or last 20 years, you can see every year there is literature related questions are there. Okay, why? Because they are primary sources of history. Okay, this ancient Buddhist literature, Jain literature, Sanskrit literature, religious literature, secular literature, or these accounts of the foreign travelers to India. So they are primary sources of this socio-economic, cultural, religious, political history of this ancient India. So without the primary sources, yes, reconstruction of the history is quite difficult. So of course UPSC stress on the sources part, especially the literary sources, archaeological sources related questions are there. So you shouldn't skip this. Yes, you can cover this literature part by classifying them as Vedic literature, Buddhist literature, Jain literature, Sangam literature, secular literature. That way you can classify them and you can study. When you study them, your focus must be on, yes, what are the central themes of such literature. Themes are important, their authors are important, okay, their chronology is important. Similar way, how they reveal the picture, I mean how they talk about the social, cultural or economic life of this ancient medieval India. That part is very much important. You shouldn't skip it. Okay. Also, see, when I say the literature, just look into this Buddhist literature that is in Pali language. The basic literature that is Tripitakas, three baskets, Vinaya Pitaka, which is about monastic order, Sutta Pitaka, which is the original teachings of Buddha, and this Abhidhamma Pitaka, which is this philosophy part of Buddha's teachings or analysis of Buddha's teachings. Okay, then Jatakas are example for non-canonical literature. Okay, then this poetry, this was also asked in the exam. Jatakas are asked, this Thera Gada is asked, Theri Gada is asked. Then this Ambapali, that is autobiographical verses by courtesan turned nun. Then Dibavamsha, Mahavamsha, they are Ceylonese chronicles. Then see, there is a work on this Buddhist canon literature, Samyutta Nikaya. So Nikaya classifications are the canonical literature. There is Samyutta Nikaya, that is also one of the division of this Buddhist canonical literature. So this literature part, again coming to Jain literature, look into this. UPSC asked on this Buddhist literature, Jain literature also. So coming to this Kalpa Sutra, which is by Bhadrabahu. Then Tattvartha Sutra, which is Umaswami in Sanskrit. So see, Yoga Shastra, Parishishti Parvan, then Arahaniti, which is by Hemachandra. Okay, so this divisions, please take care. These are various Jain literature, various Jain works, and these are Sanskrit works. Most of them are Sanskrit works. And see, initially Jain literature that was in Ardha Magadhi language, that is in Prakrit Ardha Magadhi language. So there are lots of Jain works which is done in this Sanskrit also. So what are the popular works which is done by Sanskrit and who are their authors, which is important for you. So if you put in the comment box, if you need these slides, I will share with you. Otherwise not. See some popular works by this, Jinasena, his famous work. Just look into this. Okay. So these are some popular Jain literary works and their authors. Okay, so that way you cover both Jain and the Sanskrit, Jain and Buddhist literature. Then Mritchakadiga, you see, this is a social Sanskrit, a social drama by Shudraga. It's about the story of a merchant named Charudatta who fell in love with a courtesan named Vasantasena. Then Basha is also known for his 13 plays that was asked in the exam. You might have noticed. Swapna Vasodatta is there. See, these all are the works of this, Basha. Basha has written these 13 plays. Okay. Then Mudra Rakshasa, which is by Vishagadatta. Yes, it is all about how Chandragupta Maurya is captured the power with the help of this Chanakya. Okay. Devi Chandraguptam, this is again by Vishagadatta. Please take care. This is about the failure of Ramagupta. Then how Chandragupta second, came to power. Those things. Okay. So this is something you please take care. These are some very popular Sanskrit literary works. Okay, Sanskrit literary works. Similar way, Kalidasa, his famous dramas are there, Abhijnana Shakuntalam, Vikramoorvashiyam, the Malaviga Agnimitra. Their themes are important. You remember, this was asked in the previous exams also. Yes, the central plot of, or what is the central story of each dramas. Raghuvamsha is there, Kumara Sambhavam is there, Meghadoodam is there. So just get an idea what is the plot, what is the central theme. They ask about the plot, they ask about the author, they ask about the characters, So these parts are very important for you. Similar way, Harshavardhana, see his famous works, Ragnavali, Nagananda, Priyadarshiga. These are some popular works of this, Harshavardhana. So this is the way, please try to understand what are the popular works. What are the popular works, who are their authors, their chronology or the timeline in which they're being composed, compiled, and the central characters. Okay, those things you please, or how they deal the political history of that age, So those things please take care. These are the, areas of questions previously UPSC asked. Okay, so this question is answerable. What are the work attributed to playwright Basha? Then see, there is Sangabodhi, Indian Buddhist monk, traveled to China, and his famous work, you see, Sravastivada Vinaya. So this is the way, there are so many foreign travelers are there. Yeah, foreign travelers are there who visited India on various, times. For example, Megasthenes is there. Megasthenes' famous work is Indica. He was a Greek ambassador to the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Demachus is there. Similar way, you see that there is Chinese pilgrims like Fahin is there, Huyan Sung is there, Itzing is there. Then coming to medieval era, you can see lots of foreign travelers, Suleiman Al-Baruni, Ibn Battuta, so many people. So just try to understand what are the popular works of these, foreign pilgrims and scholars who traveled to India, and Indian travelers or Indian Buddhist Jain travelers, pilgrims who travel to other countries, and what are their famous works. So please take care. These literary works are very much important for UPSC. You shouldn't skip. Okay. So here Kavya Lankara is not the drama of Basha. It's a test on poetics, which is by the scholar Bamaha. Then Natya Shastra is treatise on performing arts by Bharadamuni. Mahabhashya commentary on Sanskrit grammar, which is by Patanjali. Okay, so understanding the themes of, or maybe the crux of each literary works, which is and their authors, which is very much important as far as the prelims part is concerned. Look into another question which is being asked in 2024. With reference to ancient India, Gautama Buddha generally known by which of the following epithets? So these epithets of Mahavira and Buddha again important for you, because this being asked by UPSC multiple times in the prelims. Okay, so you know that, yeah, here this Buddha, Gautam Buddha and Mahavira are having different epithets. Okay, so coming to Buddha, you see he is known as, in the early days he was known as Siddhartha Gautama. You see, yes, his name was Siddhartha, his clan name, that compiling that, there is, or combining that, there is Siddhartha Gautama, there is Buddha, which is awakened one, there is Shakyamuni, he belongs to Shakya clan. Okay, Tadagata, which is, thus gone or thus come. Okay, see that these are some very popular epithets by which Buddha was known. Okay, similar way, Mahavira is also having some epithets, which is, Nayaputta, Nataputta, you see, Muni, Samana, you see this, just look into this. These are some very popular, epithets by which this, Mahavira was known. So here, coming to Buddha and Mahavira, I am telling you, when you study Buddha and Mahavira, yes, their doctrines are important. Doctrines are important, or maybe their, popular, what is called, patrons, sex, various councils, the teachings, differences and similarities in the teachings, all those things are important. So we have seen Buddhism, Jainism, religious revolutionary movements, the reasons and the characteristics of each and their classifications, their various councils, contributions to art, architecture, literature, those things are very much important for you. Also take care by what all names they are known, so those things are important for you. Then there are many foreign travelers. You can see that there is Megasthenes, he was Greek ambassador of Segulas Nicator to the court of Chandragupta Maurya. His famous work is India. Okay, then Demachus, he is Greek ambassador, okay, to the court of Bindusara. Then similar way, there is Ptolemy, there is Fine, there is Huansang, there is Itzing, Al-Masudi, Al-Baruni, Marco Polo, Ibn Battuta, Nicola Conti, Abdul Razak, okay, Nikitin, Duarte de Barbosa, Domingo Paez. Okay, if you check till the 16th century AD, these are some prominent travelers who traveled to India. Okay, who traveled to India. So here what is important is that just cover, they being the ambassador of a particular, foreign ruler, foreign country, or what is the purpose of their visit, or during the reign of which South Indian ruler or which North Indian ruler they arrived India, or they enjoyed the patronage of which Indian ruler, what is their famous work, okay, what is their famous work, or what are their observations, or what are their famous, observations about Indian society, Indian culture, Indian economy, or the status of religions. That part is important for you. That part is important for you. Don't ever skip this. See, so some popular works, especially coming to these foreigners. Yes, especially coming to the foreigners. Please take care. See, please take care. Yeah. How they deal with these different, accounts on India. Okay, for example, Ptolemy's geography that talks about various spots. See, in the prelims, UPSC asked about some cultural sites, heritage sites, archaeological sites. That is also a favorite area of UPSC. So here, these different foreigners' accounts or these ancient literary works talk about some popular trade centers of India, including the ports and harbors. So Ptolemy's geography talks about India's ports and harbors, India's trade connections with other parts. So India's ancient medieval India's trade and economic developments, again a hot topic for UPSC in the prelims examination, related lots of questions being asked so far. Okay, India's trade with the Roman Empire, India's trade with this Mediterranean world, you see, several times they asked. Fahin talks about the peacefulness or rarity of serious crimes and mildness of administration. Yes, he says there is death penalty was not imposed. Then Huanshan having different accounts. Okay, so how these foreigners talk about India or what they observed on India's socio-political, economic, aspects, that is important for you. See, there is another question, which is archaeological site, state and description. See, this three-column type question. Archaeological sites, Kedugarh, which is Odisha, trading port town, they say. Then next is, so this you see that, here the matching pairs are, I will go for these 2 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only. Okay, the last site, Salihundam, that is not rocket cave shrines. This is not for, it's a Buddhist center. It's a Buddhist, pilgrim center. So here, similar way, just look into this, popular ports of India. Purpose of Earthrian Sea, that was an ancient work. which talks about various ports of India and Indians trade with this Roman Empire. Similar way, Sangam literature also talk about these various ports in South India. Okay, so these are some popular ports, and these are their old names and new names. You can see here, these are some popular trade centers, port centers, and they were engaged in trade with this like Persia, with this Roman Empire, or with this eastern part, etc. Okay, so those ports, you just take care. They can ask match the pair type of questions, just like this, match the pair, the port and the ancient port and the state. Okay, that way they can ask the question. So please take care. This way also they ask questions. Then there is a question which is again related to literature part. You see Upanishads. There are parables in Upanishads. Yes, Upanishads were composed earlier than the Puranas. So actually, I think there are no parables in. Actual question was like this: there are no parables in Upanishads. That was the question. But of course, there are parables in Upanishads. For example, telling the story of these blind people, describing the elephant. Blind people, how they describe this elephant, so the parables are used in order to discuss on the philosophies or metaphysics and all. Okay, so coming to this, the question was there are no parables. It was a typing mistake. There are no parables in Upanishads. That statement is wrong. Upanishads were composed earlier than Puranas, which is right. Vedic literature, it's early Vedic, the Shruti literature, its classification goes like this: Samhitas are there, Samhitas are there, or these Brahmanas are there, or these Aranyakas are there, and Upanishads. Okay, Upanishads. Samhitas, there is Rigveda Samhita, Samaveda Samhita, or this Yajurveda Samhita, Atharva Veda Samhita. Brahmanas are the explanatory portions, Aranyakas are the concluding portions of these Brahmanas, and Upanishads are talking about this, like that is dealing with the metaphysics, or that is dealing with this philosophy part. Okay, so this understanding is also very much important. When you deal this Vedic literature, you must have a proper understanding on this, differences on various classifications, especially Shruti. There is Vedic literature can be broadly classified as Shruti and Smriti. Shruti and Smriti. Shruti and Smriti. Okay, this is godly revelation. Okay, this is what is being remembered. So coming to Vedas and Puranas, they are much earlier than the Puranas. Okay, they are religious texts passed down orally by sages. Okay, these are stories of legends, gods, heroes, astronomy, philosophy. They contain religious aspect and use of symbolism to impart teaching. Vedas are Shruti, means which is heard. Puranas are Smriti, which is remembered. Okay, so this is the way, just how. This way UPSC can ask a question. Differences between these various classification of Samhitas, or maybe differences between Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, or Vedas, Puranas, Shruti, Smriti. That way you can expect the questions. Or the Vedic literature versus Sangam literature. Okay, so these portions are very much important for you. The comparative analysis on various literary sources of ancient and medieval India, that's important for you. Okay. Again, see, there is another question, which is in which one of the following regions was Danyakadaga, a prominent Buddhist center under Mahasandhikas located? So have an idea, always have an idea. What are this I will show you. Just look into this. These are some popular, Buddhist centers, Buddhist sites in India. There are different sites associated with the life of Buddha. Lumbini is there. What is the significance of Sarnath with regard to life of Buddha? Or what is the significance of this Bodh Gaya? Okay, so Kushinara. So that how these different life, sites are associated with the life of Buddha. Similar way, there are lots of Buddhist stupas or Buddhist schools of art, Buddhist centers of learning, or different kingdoms visited by Buddha. Okay, or these Buddhist schools of sculptures, So have an idea what are the popular Buddhist centers of learning, Buddhist centers of learnings, Buddhist centers of stupas, Buddhist centers of these schools of arts, or these centers associated with the life of Buddha. I mean, where he born, where he achieved that what is called enlightenment, where he delivered his first sermon, or where he go to that Mahaparinibhana. So those things, and these Chaitya Viharas are the cave architecture. There are lots of caves, in India, which is associated with the Buddhist art and architecture. Okay, Buddhist painting. Then Amaravati Stupa, Buddhist Stupa. Nagarjuna Konda, Buddhist center of learning. Okay, Nalanda. Okay, then Bhamayan Buddha, Buddhist school of sculpture. Okay, so this is the way. Have an idea what are the popular Buddhist centers in India. This is the way UPSC asks questions like Buddhist sites, Jain sites. They are very much important. Rocket art sites in India, or various locations of the stupas. Various locations of the Ashokan inscriptions, Ashokan inscriptions. So this is the way they ask lots of questions from the sources part, so that shouldn't be missed. Can you answer this question? With reference to ancient history, consider the following statements. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. Yes, answer is given here. But still, you can apply your common sense. Okay, the concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. It's actually, we know that this is not Buddhist in origin. Even before that, let's see that there is existence of these mound structures where these, shamanas being buried. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Exactly, that second statement is fine. Third is also fine. Then see, ancient India, Korke, Pumpuhar, Mussoorie were well known as, port centers. So again, I said the ports are important for you. Which one of the following explains practice of Vattakirudal as mentioned in Sangam poems? So this, why I'm saying this, you must understand that there are lots of terms important for UPSC. See, some terms Gahapadi, Agrahara, or this what is called this Vanik, or Shalabanchiga, or Manigramam, or Arahatta, or Gediga. You see, lots of term related questions UPSC asks, which is related to what is called land revenue, or related to these economic terms are there, judicial terms are there, or social terms are there, certain institutional terms are there. They are very much important for UPSC. So my request to everyone is that, especially the terminology, terms related to Sangam literature, Sangam age, terms related to Vedic age, terms related to this Buddhism, Jainism, terms related to this early medieval India. Okay, those things are very much important for you, that you cover very well. This question was like this: what is Vattakirudal as mentioned in Sangam poems? Okay, so you see that they are king defeated in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Okay, so this is all about, we know that this Ahampuram, they are dealing with this inner emotions, outer emotions, and there is a heroic warrior concept is there. So this is something, king defeated in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Then again you see there is question, the question is on literary works under authors. So in a single, if you look into that 2024, 2023, most of the questions are revolving around these things, that is, the sources part. Sources, actually there is a module in history option also, lots of sources. UPSC asks lots of questions which is related to sources, primary sources, secondary sources, about the archaeological, literary sources, their authors, their themes. Here also look into this. Yes, Devi Chandraguptam is asked. You know that Devi Chandraguptam is not by Bilhana, it is by Vishagadatta. Then there is Hamira Magoya, Naya Chandrasuri is the author given. Yeah, that's a Sanskrit epic poem. That's by this Jain scholar, Naya Chandrasuri. That is right only. Milinda Pano, we know that is a conversation. It's actually a conversation between this Indo-Greek ruler Milinda or Menander and this Buddhist monk Nagasena, not Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna is connected with the Madhyamika school of philosophy, central to Mahayana Buddhism. Nagasena is Hinayana Buddhism. So it is, clearing the doubts of this Indo-Greek ruler Menander or Milinda by this Nagasena, that is Milinda Pano, which is non-canonical literature in Buddhism. It is not Nagarjuna, it is by Nagasena. Then next is like Nidhi Kyamurda, that is Somadeva Suri is given. It's Somadeva Suri, he is a Jain monk and belonging to 10th century AD. So two or two match the pair are fine here, rest are wrong. So please look into this. This why I am saying this. Just try to understand that these sources, especially dealing with the socio-political, economic and cultural history of ancient and medieval India, they are very much important for you. Already they asked lots of questions from this area, so don't be compromised. Then again, yeah, we solved these questions. Again, coming to this, yeah, there is a question. I think this is visible to you. Yeah, this is we already solved this one. Yeah, this is the next question. Look into this question. Souls are not only the property of animal and plant, but also rocks, running water, many. So see, there is comparing with the Buddhism, Jainism. See, souls are immortal. Souls are immortal. Souls are immortal. Everything is having a soul. That was a central belief to Jainism. Okay, but coming to Buddhism, central idea of Buddhism, Buddhism says that everything is, impermanent. I mean, Buddhism does not believe in this immortality of the soul. Buddhism believes everything is changeable, nothing is permanent here. So soul is not only property of animal, plant, rocks, running water, many natural objects looked as these living beings. That is idea of Jainism. That is the central idea of Jainism. So please look into that. What are the ideas of Jainism? Ideas of Jainism, ideas of Buddhism. This is always a hot topic in UPSC prelims. Yeah, I mean, comparing Buddhism, Jainism, the differences and similarities always a favorite area for UPSC. Then coming to this, you see that different sites, archaeological sites, and the popularity being asked here again. Yes, Besnagar is not a Shaivitic cave site. It is okay. This is also okay. We know that. Yeah. Then again, there is a question on Kaudilya's Arthashastra. Just see one topic which is being repeated. That is the sources or literary sources. That is religious and secular literary sources of ancient times, medieval times. Lots of questions are there, especially revolving around their plot, their idea, their various observations. See, a person could be a slave as a result of judicial punishment. Female slave bore her master a son, she is legally free. Son born to a female slave fathered by master, son is entitled to legal status of master's son. We found all the three are fine. Then see, again there is a question which is about these Jain historical persons and why they are popular. Aryadeva, Jain scholar; Dignaga, Buddhist scholar; Nadamuni, Vaishnava scholar. We will go for all the three. So again, what I say is that the popular scholars, the scholars or the pilgrims, okay, I mean these pilgrims or these foreign travelers. Foreign travelers means those foreign travelers to India, and Indian scholars being foreign travelers to other countries. These are very much important for you, and their popular works are important for you. Their observations are important for you. Sometimes UPSC can ask a question, for example, Fahin and Huyan Sang. Okay, their observations can be interchanged and could be confused regarding their idea on caste system, their idea on these social institutions, their idea on this governance. Okay, that could be interchanged. Now see, there is another question which is again on test. Again see the literature. You see, Natipagarana, Parishishti Parvan. See, all this Buddhist Jain literature are given. And no, the 2 and 4 are Jain literature, rest of them Buddhist literature. Again see archaeological sites, their locations are given. Okay, it is not, Karnataka is not Kalsi, that is Maski. Okay, it goes to Uttarakhand, Kalsi. So this is the way the cultural sites, heritage sites, archaeological sites, their locations, or maybe why they are being famous for, popular for, they are also a favorite area of UPSC. Again, look into that. Another question, you may be wondered here, there is certain topics are repeatedly asked here. There is no doubt certain topics are repeatedly asked. Again, this is on Sangam literature. Yes, Sangam poems are devoid of any reference. Social classification was known to Sangam. Sangam poems no reference to warrior ethic. Sangam literature refers to magical forces as irrational. What is correct they are asking? What is correct they are asking? Social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. Yes, they have discussions on this, people doing different jobs, or caste wise, class wise, or occupational divisions of the society they discuss in the Sangam poetry. Okay, they devoid of any reference to material culture is wrong. Broadly speaking, there is Aham Puram, the mostly dealing with the material culture. And see, no reference to warrior ethic, which is again wrong. One of the central theme is warrior ethic. Then Sangha literature refers to magical forces irrational. No, they deal it as rational. Now, Prime Minister recently inaugurated a new circuit house near Somnath temple. Is Jyotirlinga temple fine? Yes, Albaruni fine. But it is not, Radhakrishnan Rajendra Prasad. Okay. See, 21 question, which is about water harvesting and management by building series of dams and channelizing water into. So this is the way this, when you study this Indus Valley civilization, please look into the popular sites here. There are lots of sites, and why these are known for, why they are popular. Okay, so IVC sites are that Dolavira, it's known for its water management system. Or Kalibangan, we know that Kalibangan is also known for its plowed field and these fire altars. Ragigargi, India is one of the biggest urbanized or urban center of IVC civilization. Then Rober is known for its multiple crops cultivations. So see, different sites are there. You can expect a question like a port city. A port city of Indus civilization that engaged in trade with the Mediterranean world. Okay, or you can expect a question, the signboard is discovered from this particular site, or a site where these three divisions are known, this citadel, middle town, lower town, or Tropic of Cancer passes through this particular site. So have an idea what are the popular sites of Indus civilization, what are the popular findings. For example, dancing girl of that bronze image of dancing girl. Bronze casting was known to Indus people. Bronze image of dancing girl, priest taking statue, or this terracotta figure of that what is called this mother goddess. Okay, so different findings and the locations could be asked. Okay, or why these sites are known for, or how these sites are known for, that kind of questions could be asked. Or the sites and the current locations, current states. Okay, this particular site, whether it is Gujarat, or it is Rajasthan, or it is Haryana, or it is UP, or it is where, Kashmir, whatever. So the thing is that have an idea when you cover Indus civilization, go for the popular sites, their findings, current locations. That is important for you. Again, see, there is a question, the chronology. Another popular question is chronology based questions here. Chronology of events, chronology of dynasties, chronology of rulers, chronology of reformers, chronology of these cultural centers, chronology of this arrival of these scholars. Those types of questions previously asked. So understanding the chronology of events, which is again very important. Just look into this. Different dynasties are given. They're asking decline of Gupta witnessed this, or until the rise of Harshavardhana witnessed many kingdoms in North India, and their chronological order being asked. Okay, so have an idea what are the popular kingdoms existed. Yes, from this decline of Guptas till this rise of Harshavardhana. Okay, what all the popular kingdoms existed in North India. So understanding this, it's important for you. Similar way, there is a question, Mitakshara. What is that? Yes, Mitakshara. What is Mitakshara? Various laws, various law system, legal system, or various social institutions, legal institutions existed in these ancient and medieval times, which is important for you. Okay, yes, sons can claim right to property during lifetime of father, whereas Debaga system, only after death of father, that the sons can claim the right to property. So with regard to right to property, with regard to this marital status, with regard to this what is that called this what is called a exemption from punishments, okay, or judicial authority. There are lots of law systems existed in ancient and medieval times. So have an idea you have an idea what are the legal systems or institutions existed in Mauryan, Guptan, or post-Gupta or medieval times. That understanding is very much important. What all informations we collected from Arthashastra or this Indica, what all informations we collected from these Puranas or this religious literature, and from this Ibn Battuta, Al-Baruni, foreigners' accounts. That idea you must have. For example, coming to Vijayanagar Empire, there are lots of these European travelers visited Vijayanagar Empire. They observed about the status of women, they observed about the social institutions, they observed about the legal rights, so many things. So what are their observations about the socio-cultural economic life of Vijayanagar Empire? That's important for you. Look into another question. Bhava Bodhi, Hastamalla, they are famous, playwrights. Yes, Chaucer Yogini temple. So this is again I'm telling you, temples or temple architecture. That's again very important for you. Popular temples across India, maybe because of the current affair reasons. So temple architecture, especially from this Gupta's times, temple architecture, their classifications or what is called their locations, and being donated to various deities, okay, those things are very much their silent features. Those things are, for example, Nagara, Dravida, Vatsara styles of temple architecture. Yes, their substyles are there, their examples are there, their characteristics are there, they are important for you. So here you know that, yes, this is there is an extreme statement, only circular temple, that's wrong. Yes, this mean to promote the Vaishnava cult in this region. So the Chaucer Yogini temple. So just look into the statements. If you look into the statements, you can see that. Fourth one is that given rise to a popular belief that it was inspiration behind Indian Parliament building. So see, sometimes you can see these being in the news due to this launching of this new parliament building, or maybe commissioning of this new parliament building, or maybe sometimes these are being discussed in the newspaper itself. There is no prior knowledge is required. With your newspaper reading, many of these questions are answerable. Again, see, there is a historical place well known for kind of question is asked. Then the question was like, which of the following is correct? See, Ajanta caves lie in the gorge of this Wagora river. So history is always, I say that history is always wedded with this is wedded with this geography. So understanding this geography is essential for solving history questions. You must know where is location of Ajanta caves, Sanji Stupa, Pandulena caves, Amaravati Stupa. At least you must know where it is located, or its adjacent, the geographical identities, rivers, mountains, or the straits. That idea you should have. See, coming to the next one, with reference to India, Halbi, who pertain to, yes, they are tribal languages. You must know the tribal cultures of India. Tribal cultures of India, their dialects, languages, festivals, customs, rituals, that ideas you must have. Yes, this is again a favorite area for UPSC. Coming to 2020, there is a question which is hundi, that refers to what? Okay, it's bill of exchange, we know. So the terminology, again I would say the terms related to this economic life, social life, cultural life of early medieval India, which is important for you. See, there is a question. Following rulers advised his subjects through this inscription: whosoever praises his religious sect or blames other sect or out of excessive devotion, yes, a view of glorifying his own sect, rather injures his own sect very severe. So this is something you see Ashoka's Dhamma. Symbol concept is Ashoka's Dhamma. After Kalinga war, he became, a sadhu, or he became, a very polite ruler, and his religious tolerance is discussed in his inscription. So that is Dhamma. Again, there is with reference to this age of Gupta dynasty, these cities or towns, Gandashala or this Kadura, Chaul, they were well known as ports handling foreign trade. Again, see, with reference to religious history of India, consider the following. Sravastivadins belongs to Mahayana Buddhism. Yes, this Logotruvadin sect as offshoot of Mahasangika. Yes, the deification of Buddha by Mahasangika fostered Mahayana Buddhism. So these are questions asked here. So have an idea what are the divisions. Especially there is two major divisions, which is Hinayana Hinayana and this Mahayana. Hinayana and Mahayana. This is older version. I said it. If it is, this is Maruti 800, and this is, like a huge lorry. That means here only individual salvation. Yeah, only individual salvation. Here universal salvation. That means salvation is possible for everyone if you have that belief. Okay, Hinayana strictly follows the teachings of Buddha, and they strictly follow the Ashtangika Marga that believes in individual salvation, and there is no such alterations to these beliefs and teachings and doctrines. But coming to Mahayana, that is greater vehicle, and it accommodates the foreigners, vegetarians, non-vegetarians, and believe that universal salvation is possible, and just have faith in this. Okay, they follow Pali, and these people adopted Sanskrit. Also, they started idol worship here. Buddha what is called a Buddha and Bodhisattvas being worshipped here. Moving on to the next one, there is cultural history. Again, see lots of terminologies. Terms are asked here. See, have an idea what these terms are mean for each. Shramana has no connection with the priesthood. With that simple logic, you can come up with the answer. Shramanic traditions, Buddhism, Jainism, having no importance for priesthood here. With reference to the cultural history of India, correct description of the term Paramidas. Okay, Paramidas. What is Paramidas? See, again terms are asked. Not a Harappan site. See, again, I said it. IVC sites. Understanding IVC sites are important for you. Yes, what is not a Harappan site, they asked here. Then the next one, in which of the following relief sculpture inscription Ranyu Ashoka, King Ashoka is mentioned, along with the stone portrait of Ashoka. Okay, so Kanganahalli. So just go for the inscriptions here. Ashokan inscriptions are there. Pillar inscriptions are there, or rock inscriptions are there. Okay, cave inscriptions are there. Those are important for you. So these inscriptions and the some inscriptions, they are in this Brahmi script, some are in this Kharoshti script. Okay, and what each deal with, that is also very much important. In some inscriptions, in a few cases Ashoka used his original name Ashoka. In most cases, Devanapiya Piyadashi was the title used by Ashoka. So the inscriptions and what they deal, some inscriptions talk about his religious tolerance, some inscriptions talk about non-violence principles, some inscriptions talk about his neighborhood, some inscriptions talk about this what is called Kalinga war. Okay, so have an idea what are his inscriptions, their classifications. Deification of Buddha, treading the path of Bodhisattvas, image worship and rituals. They are asking for this Mahayana Buddhism. Again, this question is repeated here. I said Mahayana, Hinayana. You must have the basic understanding. Similar way in Jainism. In Jainism, there is Digambara division. Digambara Sadhar, Shvedambara Sadhar. Okay, the Karnataka wala is Digambara, or maybe the people who went to Karnataka, Digambaras, who strictly follow these Vardhamana Mahavira's teachings. Shvedambaras are, the Magadha version, So see that Jainism, Digambara, Shvedambara, the principles, doctrines, what are differences. Similar way, Buddhism, Mahayana, Hinayana, basic differences. Then there is again a concept, Vishti is asked, forced labor is asked. Yes. Kalyana Mandabas, another term which is related to this cultural history, which is related to Vijayanagar temple architecture, Kalyana Mandapams, you see. Then see, festivals or maybe dance and their states are asked. Cultural history, again you see that Tyagaraja, Kradis, Tyagaraja, music traditions are asked. Cultural history, again there is question, which is white marble used in making Buland Darwaza, red sandstone marbles used in making Barai Mamara and Rumi Darwaza in Lucknow. Yes, coming to this medieval history or medieval art and architecture, I would say go for Delhi, the art and architecture of Delhi Sultanate. Go for this, Bahmani architecture. Go for this architecture of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire. Go for the architecture of Mughals and this, Marathas. Okay, even Rajput architecture. These portions are very much important. And coming to early medieval, there is Chola, Imperial Chola architecture. Okay, Chola architecture. These portions are important for you. You shouldn't skip that part. Okay, future Buddha. They are asking for this future Buddha, or maybe yes, Bodhisattva concepts are important. Bani Tani painting they asked. Then see Stanagavasi sect they asked, which is connected with what? Buddhism or Jainism. So divisions in Buddhism, Jainism important for you, my dears. Don't ever skip that part. Again, they are asking for Rigvedic Aryans and Indus people, basic differences. Rigvedic and or maybe Vedic and Indus people. Yes, Rigvedic Aryans used to coat of mail, helmet in warfare. Indus people did not leave any evidence of using them. So IVC people, please try to understand they are peace lovers. They are peace lovers. Okay, but RVC people, you must understand. RVC, they are horse riders. Horse riders and they were engaged in wars. Okay, that is inter and intra-tribal wars. They were engaged in inter and intra-tribal wars. They were horse riders and warrior class. Then coming to Rigvedic Aryans knew gold, silver, copper. Indus people know only copper and iron. This is wrong. Actually, no appearance of iron. Yes, IVCs again you must understand it is Bronze Age civilization. Bronze Age civilization. Iron made its appearance in the later LVC stage. Okay, so this is wrong. Again, see, yeah, there is a question. Aryans domesticated horse, whereas no evidence of Indus people having been aware of this animal. That is true. It's a debated area, but still, according to many of these authentic historians, we don't have any evidence of IVC people having aware of this horse animal. They are not horse centric. They are not cow centric. IVC people. So Uttarantika Samadhiya were sect of Jainism. Savastivadin. See, again, it's about Buddhism, Jainism, the philosophy, the divisions. That part is important. Take care, take care. What are the divisions in this Buddhism, Jainism? What are the central philosophies of Buddhism, Jainism? For example, there is Shayadvada. Shayadvada. Can you comment Shayadvada is philosophy of Buddhism or Jainism? Similar way, there is Anegandavada. These schools of philosophy. So Shayadvada is, what is that? The philosophy of maybe or might be. Okay, all judgments are conditional. This Anegandavada, which is, truth, reality must be judged from multiple point of view. So can you say this is a Buddhist or a Jain? Which one? Buddhist philosophy or Jain philosophy? Any idea? Just comment in the box. Buddhist philosophy or Jain philosophy? Come on, say. Somebody please say. Okay, they are Jain philosophies. Okay, now there is a question: which is important seaport in Kakatiya kingdom? There is which one of the following is an important seaport in the Kakatiya kingdom? This was asked. Yes, Muttupalli. Paintings of Bodhisattva Padmapani, one of the most famous and of illustrated painting at okay, that is agenda. So how an idea about this, mural paintings, painting traditions of India, especially mural painting traditions, agenda Ellora Bagh, Badami cave paintings, Sitnavasal cave paintings. Those are important for you. A similar way, the culture of this miniature painting traditions, especially Pala miniature or Rajput miniature and this Mughal miniature, they are important for you. Have an idea about their examples and their features, etc. Then again, see which is about this historical culture, cultural history. They asked about various terms here. There is Eripatti, there is Taniyur, and there is like Gedigas. Okay, so have an idea. Eripatti, Gedigas, and Taniyurs. You see, to a single Brahmin or a group of Brahmins. So, what is the definition to each? Okay, is a huge like a village cultures or folk villages, or what is that Eripatti, what is that Arahatta, what is that Gediga. So many terms are there. So many terms related to history part is important, my dear students. That you shouldn't just skip, especially the terms when you study this history, especially from NCERT, that you shouldn't skip. There are lots of terms which is used for social groups. Okay, social groups are the terms related to for this different business class, or terms related to this agriculture, terms related to this trade, terms related to this social institutions, terms related to this education of ancient medieval times, terms related to various beliefs. So those things are important. Those terms you shouldn't skip. They are important for you. With reference to cultural history, memorizing chronicles, dynastic histories, and epic tales, profession of which of the following? Okay, so again, the professionals of ancient medieval times, professional occupations or professional, identities of ancient medieval times. Who of the following had deciphered Ashoka's inscriptions? Yes, we know that it was James Prinsep. So why each of them is known for? That idea you must have. Which of the following books of ancient India has the love story of son of founder of Sunga dynasty? Okay, so Pushyamitra Sangha, his son is Agnimitra, and his love story with his maid, which is Malavika Agnimitra. So take care. Yeah, these things are important for you, that you shouldn't skip, especially these ancient literary works and their themes, plots are important for you. Then with reference to religious history, consider the following. Concept of Bodhisattva is central to, again, see similar question is asked here. Yes, Bodhisattva is central to Hinayana, that is Mahayana. Bodhisattva is compassionate one on his way to enlightenment, delays achieving salvation to help all sentient beings on their path. Yes, so have an idea what are the concepts in Buddhism, Jainism, and in their sect. Common to historical places, Ajanta and Mahabalipuram. Same era which is wrong here. We know that this Ajanta evolved from this 2nd BC onwards. Mahabalipuram, we know that is more largely attributed to these Pallavas. Okay, so different time periods. Then both belong to same religious denominations. Again wrong. Both have rocket. Both belong to same religious denominations. Both have rocket monuments here. Answer is not A. This is 3 only. I would say that both have rocket monuments, which is wrong, which is right. But having same religious denomination is wrong and not built in the same era. Okay, so those things you take care. Which of the following kingdoms were associated with the life of Buddha? Again, see, just look into this. This question is repeated here. This question is repeated. You can see that this in consecutive years this question being asked. Kalamkari painting, again see, this is in Andhra. There is hand painted cotton textile, which is Kalamkari. Then see, there is a question, who of the following founded new city? Yeah, that's a new city on the bank of tributary river Krishna, and deity to this land belongs to, this is this is not A. This is not Amoga Varsha, this is not Ballala, this is not Prataparudra, this is Harihara. C is the answer. With reference to the art and archaeological history of India, see, archaeological history of India, which among the following was made earliest? Yes, this is Lingaraj Temple, Bhubaneswar, Rocket Elephant at Dhauli, Rocket Monuments at Mahabalipuram, and Varaha image at Udayagiri of Dhauli is the earliest one. Which of the following kingdoms associated with the life of Buddha? See, the question is repeated again. You must know what are the kingdoms. The kingdoms are these, dynasties, places associated with the life of Buddha Mahavira, which is important for you. Which of the following pairs not form part of 6 systems of philosophy? So there is Astiga. There is Astiga school, there is Nastiga school. Astiga and Nastika schools. Okay. So must understand what are these, simply you can say there is Orthodox schools and there is, heterodox schools. Difference between Orthodox and heterodox, Orthodox, they believe in this authority of Vedas. Authority of Vedas. They believe in the authority of Vedas. Heterodox, yes, no belief in this authority of the Vedas. So here they are asking for 6 systems of Indian philosophy. Yes, there is Mimamsa Vedanta, Nyaya Vaiseshika, then Samkhya Yoga. Logayada is, Logayada is, you must understand, this is example for this, heterodox schools of philosophy. Heterodox schools of philosophy. With reference to Indian history of art and culture, you consider the following pairs. Again, the school of sculpture and the site is asked, or famous work of sculpture and site is asked. Yes, they are asking for Buddha's Mahaparinibbana with numerous celestial musicians above sorrowful figures of, a huge image of Varaha avatar of Vishnu, then Arjuna's penance being asked here. Yes, Varaha avatar of Vishnu as rescues goddess Earth from the deep and So just to see, what I am saying is that when we go for these different schools of sculptures or schools or arts of sculpture, yes, please try to understand where they're being located. That's important. That's again important. With reference to cultural history, Panchayadan. Yes, again the terms are the, you know that it is a style of temple construction. Then what is applicable to Jainism or Jain doctrine? Surest way of annihilating karma is to practice penance. Every object, a small particle, has a soul. Karma is bane of soul, must be ended. All are fine here. All are correct regarding this Jainism. So Jainism say there is belief in karma. There is belief in this, what is called this, extreme sufferings. Extreme sufferings, extreme sufferings for salvation. Extreme sufferings for salvations, and it believes in this soul concept. It believes in this transmigration of soul. It believes in this universal force or universal law, or it believes in this what is called self-suffering. Self-suffering is, extreme suffering is essential for salvation. Okay, so you see that these are something very central to this Jain doctrine. Buddhism follows middle path. Huyen Sung, who visited India, roads and river roads come completely immune from robbery. As regards punishments for offences, ordeals by fire, water, poison were instruments for determining innocence or guilt of person. Then see the tradesmen had to pay duties at ferries and barrier stations. So see that his observations about this India at that time. So you must know that you see the law and order was not as good as what Fahim discussed earlier. Okay, so Huyen Sang witnessed lots of that ups and downs, or maybe law and order and these kind of the crimes, all those things witnessed. He himself was a victim of robbery. So his observation is different from that of Fahim. Characteristics of these people of Indus civilization: they possessed great palaces, temples, no temple concepts there. Male, female deities worship is there. Then horse-drawn chariots, no idea. Okay. some Buddhist rocks, Chaityas and Viharas. They are asking for Chaityas, Viharas. We know that they are Chaityas, place of worship, Vihara, dwelling place of these monks. Concept of nirvana. What is actually the nirvana? Okay, it has different opinions. It is extinction of the flame of desire. It is a state of bliss and rest. But most of the sources say that it is, extinction of the flame of desire. Especially you see that Buddhism believes desire is causing to all kind of sorrows, and ending the sorrows, one must stop desiring, for which one must follow Ashtangika Marga. With reference to history of Indian rock art architecture, caves at Badami are the oldest surviving, which is wrong. Barabar caves we have is originally made for Ajivikas by Emperor Chandragupta Maurya. Then see at Ellora, caves were made of for different fates. Yes, caves were made for different fates. That is fine. Dadu Dayal Guru Nanak Tyagaraja, you see, who all preaching when Lodi dynasty fell and Babur took over. Okay, that was the question. See, with reference to history. So, what I say is that Bhakti Sufi saints are important here. Bhakti, Sufi saints, the teachings or their philosophies, they are important. Also, you must know their contemporaries. Okay. With reference to history of ancient India, which of the following common to Buddhism? Avoidance of extremities, which is not common. Indifference to authority of Vedas is common. Denial of efficacy of rituals is common. Okay. Because one stand for extreme observations, while others stand for middle path. Then they are asking for guild here. There is guild concept. Trade union concept is there. Guild was registered with the central. You just see that most of the guilds, enjoyed the monopoly, or many were monotonous in nature. They issued their own coins and they were so powerful in some areas. So that way, this first statement could be eliminated. Second is fine. Third is also fine. Religion of early Vedic guidance. It was it's a nature of worship nature and yajanas here. Dharma Rida concepts are discussed here. Okay, what is Dharma? What is Rida? Jain philosophy. World is created and maintained by universal law. There is a question. India maintained its early cultural contacts and trade links with the Southeast Asia across the Bay of Bengal. For this preeminence of early maritime history of Bay of Bengal, which of the following could be most convincing explanation? It's asked here. See, as compared to other countries, India had better shipbuilding technology in ancient and medieval times. Most convincing they are asking. It could be true only. Rulers of southern India always patronized traders, Brahmin priests and Buddhist monks in this contest. That is also fine. Monsoon winds across the Bay of Bengal facilitated sea voyages. Yeah, I think when they are asking for the most convincing, I think we shall come up with this C. Okay. Then see, regarding Indus civilization, predominantly a secular civilization, religious element though present did not dominate the scene. Absolutely correct here. This is urban civilization, secular civilization. Cotton was used for manufacturing textiles. That is also fine. So this being the questions asked till 2011, 2024 to 2011 or 11 to 24. What I would say is that when you have gone through these previous year questions, at least you understood that what are things you have to focus in this ancient India. What are things you have to focus in this ancient India? Yes, at least ancient till early medieval, you might have seen these are the things you have to focus. At least you got an idea about this. So based on that, please have a quick revision. Please have a marathon revision. If these relevant areas are not touched yet, just revise, just practice the questions from these areas, both PYQs and the standard mock questions. Okay. Tomorrow we will be dealing this medieval India and the culture part. And day after tomorrow we will be dealing modern India through PYQs. Okay. Saying this, I am winding up today's session. If you have any feedbacks, any reviews, just to put in the chat box, If you wish to ask anything or if you have any queries, any concerns, you just leave your messages in the chat box. Tomorrow same at 8 p.m. we will be meeting, okay?